he took the confetti, then he was like that. Nah. Then everybody like, no. So my first ever overseas concert was when I went to Bangkok for Monster X. I think that was really memorable because I feel that they didn't come to Singapore at that point in time. So I flew all the way over there to see them. And I think it's just like the whole experience of getting to travel and go do something you really like, go see see people in concert. Like, it makes the whole experience like of traveling even more fun because you are looking forward to doing something very big over there. And I've been to Bangkok twice for their concerts, I think. And that was like quite a few years ago lah. And the first ever Korea concert I went to was in 2019, I think, for Monster X's first world tour. And I think that one was like a really decision that I made with my group of friends that we wanted to do it because like we were very afraid they were going to go army soon and stuff. And I'm very glad I went because that was when they were 7 members and after that they only became 6 members. But yeah, so that was my first ever concert. Honestly, right, it was just very memorable because I feel like the reason why I like Korean concerts a lot more is because they talk a lot more. You need to understand a bit of Korean now, and not you'll be like, what the hell is going on? But I feel like they genuinely show a little bit more emotion. Sometimes when they travel overseas for concerts, they're really very tired. They fly, they land, they need to immediately do the concert, that kind of thing. Usually the energy is not as high as compared to when they are like, you know, in their home country and stuff. So I think like definitely go and try it once. For example, if you're on a holiday, then you just happen to go and see a concert or performance. I think go try this experience because it's something that you probably cannot get anywhere else unless you fly there. So that's what encouraged me to go more for other groups. And also it is quite an expensive thing to do. And when I was much younger, like when I didn't have a full-time job back then, like I always envied people who could fly a lot. And those people who could fly, either people who are working or people who, you know, like, I mean, like maybe they got income from like their parents or something like that, or like they earn a lot of money or whatever. But it wasn't something that a lot of people could do, and I don't think I could do it way back then because my parents wouldn't like be allowing me to fly overseas for concerts and stuff. So that's why I went to like Asia stops because it's a bit cheaper to fly also. So I think that when you're working, when you have the income, go and try it out once in your life. Hope you get tickets. Manifest. Enough manifestation. I'm manifesting too much in this episode. But yeah, so that's why I enjoy it. And also nowadays I find it fun that I can share my experiences for these concerts on social media like TikTok and stuff, and people really enjoy watching it or like living through my experiences. A lot of people tell me that they love watching it when I go Korea, then they live through me, that kind of thing. So I'm more happy to like do that also because I feel like it's more fun, right? Then we can share and talk about the trip together, and like you can also plan your trip while I'm there and stuff like that. So yeah, speaking of concerts, I've actually done like a concert tip video on TikTok before. I will put like a snippet of the video here and link it in the description and stuff lah. So if you guys are interested to know my tips on like what to do before you go for the concert, right, then you should watch that video lah, because if not, I'll just be repeating myself here. But basically stay hydrated. If your bias doesn't notice you, it's not the end of the world. Don't ruin other people's concert experience and be selfish. Like, don't be selfish and like fuck up everybody around you in your area. Like that freaking TikTok of the girl in the black, don't know girl or who, like in the black pink pen holding the fan. Then people ask her to put down the fan and then she just keep holding. Ma'am, Jenny is like at the main stage, yeah? She cannot see you, yeah? Like you hold for what, yeah? I cannot. Like imagine you like just blocking everyone's view behind and the person is not even like in front of you, you know? Like, I think just be a bit more respectful. Nowadays, it's getting a little bit out of hand. I think back then, like last time, because K-pop wasn't such a big thing, you don't really have to compete with a lot of people. Yes, you have to compete in a sense, like with other fans, but it was not as, full-blown as it is now. Now there's like way more people into the scene, so you have to like kind of have a lot more interactions with a lot more people. And I think that now, like, there's a lot of fighting on the internet, people getting jealous over other people's experiences. Like, sometimes you just gotta be happy, for these people who get to go and see their idols, because like they're just living their life, they're paying money, they're supporting all these people, they're literally going for the fan signs and paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for like fan signs and stuff, right? Like, that's their choice, right? If they want to spend their money on that, and like, if they can afford it, then so be it. Like, not everybody can live that kind of lifestyle, but it's also kind of crazy because that whole like spending culture on K-pop now, right? I feel it's really gone another level. Like back then, like Monster X, I think I only need like 20 albums to go into their fan sign, which I almost, oh my god, my biggest regret is not going to the fan sign in Korea when I was in Korea, because it was like 20 albums only, right? But the point is that I was a student then, so I didn't like 20 albums now, maybe I can afford to buy, but 20 albums then, it was like literally so much of my budget that I put aside for my Korea exchange trip. That's I cannot lah. And then some more the thing is, right, the venue, right, is like in Incheon, is like 2 hours away from Seoul. And I was like, oh my god, I need to go there, buy the album, come back. Then if the fans are happy, I need to go there again and stuff. So I was just like, you know what? Never mind. Like, I will just let go of that opportunity. But I regret not going for that. I would love to have like an experience like that. But I also think like sometimes when you pay so much money to do these kind of experiences, right, then you go there, then what if like you're disappointed by how the idols react to you? You know, sometimes they are technically paid to be very nice to you, and it is their job to make you feel like you're special and stuff like that. But I've heard many like stories of friends who have done like group calls and like, you know, video calls with them, and then the idols are just like not interested to have a conversation, or they just say like very basic things. And it kind of hurts your feelings lah, you know what I mean? You pay so much money and then like the person is like not even as nice. So I feel like it kind of changes your perception on who they are as people, and it really makes them feel like too human and too real for you. Yeah, and I don't know if you want that. I mean, if you do, sure. But like, I personally feel like, maybe I don't want to like know. Like, what I don't know won't like hurt me, that kind of thing. I mean, of course, if they're not very nice people, then like, yikes. But like, at this point, you also don't know how they are like, right? You only know what they put out on the internet for you to see. Yeah, but there have been also a lot of disappointment because you spend so much money, you may not even get into the fan sign, things like that. Disappointment with how they react, disappointment with not getting into the fan signing and all. And it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a very expensive hobby to do it. And a lot of my friends say, oh, once you start, you can never go back. Like, you can never stop. Then I'm just like, oh my god, that's kind of crazy. But yeah. Sorry, I diverted a bit from the concert etiquette part of it, just talking about like fan sign things. But besides that, let's talk a bit about concerts. So I think I have really overall positive experiences with concerts because I've been to quite a few. When I was younger, I really saved a lot of money to just go for concerts. I work like part-time jobs just to like earn money so I can pay a $200 ticket to go and see my idol and stuff. It's just really how you want to prioritize yourself lah. And also I'm, like I mentioned, from a well-to-do family, so I don't need to worry about like, you know, like the everyday necessities and stuff. So this is just really like, okay, what I want to do, I spend money to go and do it. I think that at concerts, like you pay so much money for this already, right? Like there can be things that ruin your experience or people who just feel very entitled at concerts. So sometimes the behavior can get a little bit like, that kind of thing. So maybe I share a little bit about some of the stuff that happened to me. Like, you can let me know whether you feel like I'm in the wrong, they're in the wrong, whatever it is. But I remember one like specific one is I went for a GOT7 concert. And you know when you go to a mosh pit, like nowadays all the K-pop girlies be wearing that platform Converse shoe, okay? Because it's like every woman for themselves. Like if you need to see your shot, you go and wear your platform shoe so you can see lah, you know what I mean? And also there are girls who are like really tall. You cannot expect them to cut their legs short, right? Because like they are tall. So at the end of the day, it's just really like first come, first serve. And every woman for themselves, if you want to stand in a mosh pit, you just be smart about where you want to stand. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot expect people to give in for you because at that point, you have queue numbers for a reason, right? If the person got a better queue number than you, you just have to suck it up. So what happened was that I went for a GOT7 concert at Big Box, like in, what's it called? Like in the West area, like when they didn't have it at Inor Stadium yet. Then I went and I was wearing heels, but it wasn't like very high. It was like boots. So maybe my boots were like this high boots because I'm short. I'm like 158. So I wasn't sure if like I could get the barricade or not. Like what if someone in front of me was like taller than me lah? So I just protect myself first, right? So I wear the boots. Then me and my friend were lucky enough we managed to get a barricade. And then we were standing at the barricade. And then like people started to stream in and stuff lah. So there were these girls behind who ended up behind us because they could go anywhere, but they ended up behind us, right? And then the girls were like, the entire time were being like, oh my god, they are so tall in front of us leh. Can they just let us go in front? And I was like, what? And then me and my friend just look at each other. Then we just keep quiet because I don't want, like when you react, then all the more you create a problem for yourself. Right? So I just act blur, live longer. I just pretend I don't understand English, yeah? then later, they kept saying like, very like purposely for us to hear like, they very tall eh, how ah? They wearing heels eh. Oh my god. Then I'm just like, okay, I'm sorry I'm wearing heels, but what if my original height was this height with my heels? That if with the heels I'm 165, bro. It's not even that tall. I'm really not that tall. Then I just like, okay, never mind. I just kept quiet the whole way. I didn't even say anything to them. But the entire concert, I could hear her saying, should we ask them if you can stand in front? Because I'm so short, I cannot see anything. Then they just I cannot see. You cannot see, move lah. Walao wei kao bei. Oh my god. Then it made the whole thing so bad for me because I feel so bad. Like, am I supposed to give in to her? But I really felt like, okay, I'm just gonna stand my ground because I'm like, this is my queue number. I got here first. I'm just gonna leave it as that. You can be nice, sure, to people. I'll be nice to the people who are nice to me. But like, if she asked in a way like, hey, can I like squeeze in here a little bit so I can see you? Can you give me a little bit of a gap? I'll be like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll move aside for you. But you want to like pegro me and be like, oh my god, they like, then of course I don't want that. Like, hello? Yeah. So ask nicely, and people can be actually very nice in the mosh pit one because people are very understanding that you want to see your idols also. And there was another experience. Oh my god, girl, this one I cannot. I was speechless the entire time. Oh, I got two more actually, but never mind. I tell you this one first. I go to like the BTS concert, okay? And this was like, I was a huge BTS fan last time. So the time in the era where I told you I like Monster X, right? BTS was also very big back then. I also used to go to the airports to see them in Korea because me and my friend were huge fans of BTS. So we used to see them at the Incheon airport and stuff. And then when they came to Singapore, we were like, oh my god, finally they're having a concert in Singapore, right? So we bought tickets and I managed to get the barricade also, but it was like the backstage one. So I wasn't like at the main stage. We were at like the super far away extended stage in the National Stadium. And then I was standing at the barricade with my friend, and then like this girl behind like came, and then at first it was fine, like nothing really happened or whatever. Suddenly when the music, like they started to play the music videos on the screen and stuff, right? Then normally people cheer when the videos come on, right? This girl cheer, right? Okay, never mind, she cheer. It's like the sharpest shrieking I have ever heard in my life. Okay, I get it, at the concert you're excited, but she be like, like it's not even like it's like the like high pitch blasting my eardrums kind of vibe, okay? And then I like, okay, let's just be nice. Like maybe she's really very excited. Like she loved BTS or whatever. She want to see them. I was like, okay. Like, yeah, go and shout or whatever. But it's not even there on stage. It's like literally the music video. And it's just random things that are appearing that she shouted. It's not even the concert haven't even started yet. Okay, it's like literally like going to be 1 hour to the concert. Haven't even started. She's screaming for 1 hour. Very loud. Like she's like this close to my ear, by the way. Like she's shouting in my ear. And then I look at the girl on my left. I never say anything because she's very young. So I was just like, you know what? I'll just be a bigger person and shut up. Like, I was just fucking annoyed lah, but I just shut up. Then this girl next to me, she looked at me. She was like, she's quite loud, right? I was like, yeah, she's quite loud. And the girl next to me is like quite young. I think she's like 16, 17 or something. She's just very sweet. Like, she was so like respectful about it. And then so she turned around and she asked the girl like, oh, hey, like you really like super like loud for them and stuff, right? And the girl, instead of saying like, oh, am I bothering you or whatever, she just like said, yeah, and I can scream however loud I want. Like, and then the other girl was like, oh, okay. Then she was like, yeah, you cannot tell me what to do. Okay, ma'am, they can't hear you. You shout so loud for what? Girl, I could not. I was like, the entire concert, I went deaf. I'm not even deaf from BTS. I'm deaf from this girl behind me, I swear. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, it was just a nightmare. So it's like you really need to be a bit more considerate of the people around you, and definitely please shout, please cheer, please scream very loudly for your faves or whatever, but just not until that level lah, okay? Yeah, that was a bit much. Y'all do not understand the pain. I've been to many concerts and I've had friends scream in my ear. This was like 100 times worse. Yeah. And then also there's like people pushing and stuff, which is like the very normal concert experience. And I've shared about it in a TikTok before, so I'll put a TikTok here somewhere about how it's like people are just very like, they just push you all the way. Like I was just standing somewhere, then they just like shove me to the side to get to the front. Yeah, it's like not very nice. So I think just need to be more aware of that. Then there was one time like I went to like Bangkok for the Monster X concert, right? Then there's foreigners maybe Korean people, like they a bit pushy lah. Yeah, I mean, just have to say like based on my experience with them, got this girl like she tried to cut into my barricade. I'm not even at a good barricade, by the way. I was like so far to the left, like you want to cut also see what's here. You just stand behind me can already. But then I just standing there casually, and I was talking to the girl next to me. Like I just made friends with the girl next to me, right? Then cause when they came on and you cheer, then like there's a bit of a gap, right? She just shoved herself into the gap. okay, never mind, because there was a gap there, and I'm just like, you know what, like, you fight for it, sis. I fight for your life or whatever. Then she just squeezed inside, but then she kept like trying to push me back even more so her friend can squeeze in. Then I was very annoyed because I wanted my space, so I just held onto my space like that lah. Then I just told the girl next to me, like, you know, just make sure you keep your space so you don't get like pushed aside. And then the girl started shouting Korean vulgarities in my ear because like she just kept trying to shove in me. Then I was very annoyed because she kept pushing me. Then I just like asked her to like, I can't remember what I said. I thought I just like said stop or something like that, right? Then she started shouting at me like in Korean. The thing is, I don't understand Korean, so I just like, okay, just shout. Then she's like in my ear, as if like it's gonna make me like, oh, you want a spot now, like as if that's gonna make me give her my spot, you know? So it's just like, okay, just keep shouting, like you waste your energy lah. So I just like let her shout, and then I just ignore her, and then she stopped shouting after a while, cause like she don't do anything, right? She just shout me. I was like, bro, I here to see the idol, not to let you argue with me. And I just like close my ears lah. Yeah. So there are people like that. So you have to really be like protect yourself in a way. And yeah, people can really turn like super rancid behavior when this kind of things happen. And when it comes to your idol thing, you just like don't care like how to act like a human, you know? Like you act like a freaking animal. Like, please calm down. Like, I cannot. That's like those things that I cannot like really. I really feel very frustrated when these kind of things happen. I think also nowadays, like the phone culture in concerts, a lot of people have been complaining, like, you know, we go, dude, the Blackpink people say like they go to a Blackpink concert, all they see is phones in front of them because people are just like shoving their phones really high. Like, because in like normal concert etiquette, right, usually we put our phones here. So like, you don't like raise it so high. So like the people behind you still can see. You just try to put it at an angle where it's like near your head kind. But I think like now because everybody's like shoving their hands out, then everybody's just like competing with each other. So it's not great lah when you go to the mosh pit and then you have a bad view and literally you can't see the stage at all. You might as well just pay for seating in that sense. Yeah, but unfortunately this is how the way it is, and hopefully, I don't know, people can try to tone it down a bit. Let's be a bit more considerate. And the last one I think I just wanted to mention is quite funny, right? Because I went to the NCT Dream concert recently. So this time I wasn't at the front or anything. I was just like in the mosh with my friends. And to be honest, this was quite a civil one. Like nobody was really pushing in the mosh. And I was like, oh, that's great. Everybody like quite respectful. Nobody really like push in front or anything. Yeah, then got like the people around me all like say hi to me. Then oh, hello. Then they're very nice. So I'm just very lucky that the people around me is like they 认识我 or something like that. You know what I mean? They recognize me lah. Then I think there was like one girl, like it was a bit weird because like they were running past the stage. So there was this one girl who suddenly like out of nowhere, because my friend was near me, so I was just trying to make sure my friend is okay, right? Then this one girl just suddenly like pushed past me and like shoved her phone in front of my face. So it was like this in front of me. That's just like, oh, I got a shock lah, because I was like, what the hell is happening? So I just, oh, okay. Then I like look at her, because like naturally I'll look at the person who shoved something in front of my face, right? Then she looked at me, then her face was like she's shocked when she see my face. Then she faster take her phone back and walk away. I'm dead! You see, you don't want to get blasted on TikTok. It's like, it's important to raise awareness about it also. That's why I did a whole video about it, because I think it's very important that it's a safe space, because like the mosh pit can be very, very scary. Remember the incidences of like in America where like the concerts and people like died because of that. Like it's very, very, it's too much. It's very, very dangerous. So I always want to make sure that people are okay. And of course, like if you contribute to the pushing, it's not going to help anybody lah. So I've seen people like faint in the mosh pit before, and like people have to get dragged out and stuff. Like it's not fun, you know. You pay so much money for a concert, you have to get dragged out because like people are pushing you, and you really like, it's for your safety reasons, you really can't breathe and stuff. So I really, really think it's important to call out this kind of behavior and like really make sure that you are safe in this space. So in Singapore, I think they've done a really good job at trying to prevent this, because like they do give out water during the concert to some of the people in the mosh pit. The security are very, very like cautious of people pushing, and also like they always check in the crowd to make sure everybody's okay. So I think like just make sure like if you're a fan or something and you see someone like who needs help, like to please help them. Yeah, it's not fun. And like there have been like instances in other countries where the barricade fall down and stuff because people push so hard that the barricade has fallen and everything. And there's been a lot of backlash to certain people who have been in that position, right? And then they make the barricade fall, right? They're still taking picture of like their idol and stuff like that. You know, like gotta be like, you gotta prioritize like things. Like you cannot just be so self-centered in a way lah to like not care about the people around you. Yeah. Obviously, when you talk about concerts, you have to talk about ticketing. And I feel that this is one of the things that a lot of people have asked me or DM me about. And I honestly, I really trust from the bottom of my heart, it's pure luck. Like I have nothing else that I can tell you that will help you except pray, okay, before you buy your tickets. Some things I can offer some advice on would be that if you, for example, are buying the tickets, log in everything first. Make sure you test your account out first before you log in on a day, because sometimes my Ticketmaster account got issue, so that time I couldn't even log in properly. So always make sure to do all the safety protocols, like the protocols beforehand, to make sure you can log in, make sure your account is working, make sure you got your credit card available on hand, so you're not panicking later. Second one is do not panic. Like, you literally have to be calm. If not, you're gonna like press something wrong accidentally and enter in the wrong information. Like, my sister actually entered in like the wrong name on the ticket before, because she was trying to buy for my other sister, but she entered in her name instead of my other sister's name, which is like, the worst thing that could happen, right? Because you're like panicking. So once you get into the page when like your queue number has passed already, right, you have to like click really fast and check out immediately. Of course, if you're getting seats and you're waiting for people to give up their seats or whatever, like sure, by all means. But like for, I think like standing pens and stuff, it's really like fastest fingers first. As long as you check out first, right, your number will be better. And also a tip is that if you buy less tickets, right, likely your queue number will be slightly better than, example, if you buy like 4 tickets. You buy like 1 ticket, sometimes the system processes it faster also. And there's also like this like systematic numbering order system that you have to go through, right? So it's easier to fit like 1 ticket into a slot rather than to fit 4 tickets into like this slot of the system. So that's some advice that I can give you. And of course, buy membership so you can get pre-sale, you can get ballots for like your concert tickets for some of the groups. I think that's quite important. Yeah. And I think to kind of really like sum up this whole video, right, I want to talk about like fan behavior. So I think I talked a little bit about it just now in terms of like, like being very enthusiastic and like about fan signs and like spending a lot of money on it. But also just like, I think sometimes behaviors can get a little bit toxic when you get very overwhelmed in this entire like K-pop scene, because it's very easy for fans to just criticize their idols, and then they get caught up in this whole like cancel culture situation. They are very unforgiving to the people that they idolize. And they are humans after all. I know you hold them to high standards, but sometimes I just do feel that it's really very, very extreme. And it has always been the case, because even back then, like I think the Korean netizens have been very, very harsh on them lah, I feel. I think people need to understand that a lot of these K-pop idols, right, they have been trainees since such a young age. A lot of them have not really gone to a proper education in school. They haven't really like gone to classes to learn about like anything maybe outside of Korean culture. Maybe like Western culture is not as familiar to them. So sometimes to them, they just release monkey see, monkey do. They see what other people do, they just copy lah, you know what I mean? And they don't realize like their actions or the things that they say sometimes can be very detrimental to like minority groups in like many different countries. So it's about educating them. And also these are things we cannot really do or educate them until like we know that they don't know, you know what I mean? Because like we don't know what they don't know. And at that point, it's like by the time something happens, right, and it shows that they don't know, then people are so quick to be like, how can you not know about this, blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, they probably really never learned about it, or even in their lives, these are not things that they would genuinely go and search up on their own. I feel these are things that have been taught to us because we use social media. We also go we go to school, like people educate us on like what to say, what not to say, and things like that. And it's just something that maybe I feel the Korean education system also may lack as a whole. But this is just what I assume it is that, because I feel that in Korea, they live in a bubble of their own a lot, because they are around people who are all the same as them. You know what I mean? They're not in a multiracial kind of country. So they may not necessarily have opportunities to learn about people from other countries lah. And I know people say like, oh, but the internet is available, they should be able to search this up. Like I know this, and I'm like how many years old only. I'm like, yes, but also if you're in an environment where you're put into a bubble and nobody else outside tells you all these things, why would you know about them? You know what I mean? Like in a way, it's like if I asked you about some war that happened in Singapore, will you know about it? Will you know that it's insensitive for you to say about certain things to Singaporeans, for example? Like, no, what, right? Like if you're not born in Singapore, you may not know, you know? So I think it's about educating them, and also like, you know, of course, cancelling if they're doing something that's very like extreme, like the whole scandal with the Burning Sun scandal and stuff. Yeah, that is like, literal criminal activity kind of vibes. But there was a situation recently that Cheong wore the shirt with like this the Nazi like logo on it, right? So she wore it, and because it was from this band called the Sex Pistols. She was wearing a band tee, and then she posted it on Instagram, and then people came at her for it. But then, like, to me, it's like, oh shit, like, like, obviously it's not a good thing that she wore this shirt, right? And my first instinct, of course, when I saw this and I saw that she was getting cancelled, I was like, oh my god, like, no way is this happening, that kind of thing. Like, and of course I'm like, oh my god, why should go wear this shirt, because like she should have known better, of course. But in my brain, I'm also like, do you think this girl, who is like, I don't know, she's like 23 or 24 this year, this 24-year-old girl would post a photo of herself on the internet and let herself be cancelled? Like, if you think about it objectively, why would she post something that she knows she's 100% going to get cancelled for? Like, the thing is that she doesn't know, like, if she knew, she wouldn't be posting these kind of things, which is why even if these idols are dating, they're not going to be posting that they're dating their boyfriends, right? It's the same kind of concept. It's just that she probably didn't know better, but she did do a whole apology about it, and she said, like, I'll be more aware of, like, what I wear next time and stuff like that, which is, yeah, and at that point, it's like, what can you do other than forgive this person and move on from this situation, right? Like, it's something that they did unknowingly, but people now are still, like, hating. Like, every time they see there was a period where every time they see a video of her, they're like, apologize, like, oh my god, I don't know what. And I was just like, okay, and I was so scared she was gonna get kicked out. I was like, oh my god, please, I cannot let this happen to her, okay? And then, like, there was a whole thing about, like, how back then Zuri, one of the Chinese members, right, she said that she was from Taiwan instead of China, and then she had to make a whole YouTube video apologizing when she was 16. I was like, the video is so hard to watch, okay? She's like trembling, like the entire time she looked like she's trying not to cry. Oh my god, it was really so painful to watch. I cannot. Yeah, so I just feel like there has to be some kind of compassion to have for these people, but also, yes, of course, hold them to high standards and stuff, but just, I don't know, I just feel sometimes it's a little bit too extreme. Yeah, and even like fan wars with each other, like certain groups don't like this group, or like certain fans don't like this fan. I'm just, okay, can we just want to like whoever we want to like, okay? You don't need to fight with other people. I see so many people lose friendships over K-pop, which is a bit sad, because like y'all spend so much time like enjoying like the music and like supporting your idols, and then like this one instance where, like, for example, your friend got a better queue than you, and then like you get angry at her, or like she managed to go concert, you don't manage to go, then you get angry. Then like it's like very, very small things, but at a moment in time, I guess you'll be very angry lah. I understand lah, but it's sad lah. And then when sometimes the competitiveness takes to another level, when you get jealous of people who get the opportunities to go for all these like concerts or go for fan signs and stuff, then you just like hate on them, like, for meeting your idols. Like, I'm just like, what did these people do to deserve that? They just like spend money to go and see them. Like, you also can spend money to go, but if like you don't have that capacity, then you cannot shit on the people who have the capacity to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know why people like to side-eye people at concerts, or like talk about people, like they're like, oh, you know that girl, and then this person, and then this person. I just like, girl, I don't know. It's giving secondary school drama, like that kind of vibe. But yeah, I stay out of it because I don't want to know what people think about me, and I also don't want to know, like, I don't want to think like of other people also. I'm just let people live their own lives, okay? And as long as they're not affecting me or harming the people around me, or even harming like the freaking members of the group that I like or whatever, that I'm really just not gonna be bothered. Just enjoy yourself, Then you pay so much money for the concert to be a hater, like don't need to be a hater. Like, yeah. Besides the little bit more of the negative side of things, I also think K-pop is actually very wholesome, and like I have made many friends from Stan Twitter. I deleted my account. I didn't delete my account, but I stopped using my account like many years ago. But I made many friends from there. Some of them are not even from Singapore. I have friends from like the US, friends from like Indonesia, Philippines, like Korea, things like that. And it's like I made friends with them like years ago. And until now, right? If they're ever in Singapore or whatever, I would not hesitate to bring them around. I would not hesitate to meet them. Like, I have a friend who is from the US and she's living in Korea. I went to Korea and I met her like so many times over there. It's like our first time ever meeting. Yeah, so I thought it's like so nice that can bring people together also. It's really fun making friends at concerts, I feel. As long as they are not like, oh my god, you're like the same person as me, bye. Like, sometimes people are, they're just like, okay, like it's a bit awkward. Yeah, then so be it. But it's fun when you like the same thing and you can talk about the same thing, you know? I know based on like watching videos online that people have mentioned that K-pop has helped their mental health. And I think that's a good place that like something like this can really make it very positive and pull you out of this cycle. And yeah, so I do think that the community can be very encouraging also lah. And you know, liking K-pop is such an unserious thing. Like seriously, it's just a hobby. Like you just like to look at, you know, these people dancing and singing on stage. You like, find someone you really can resonate with and stuff, and just enjoy like that whole aspect of it, and don't really focus too much on the negatives lah, because sometimes it can really bring you down. But yeah, that's how I really stayed with K-pop for like 15 years, and now it's just literally my entire personality. No, I'm just kidding. But a lot of people like know me because I also have been liking K-pop for very long. I even do like dance covers and stuff or whatever when I'm free. Yeah, and it can be very fun. Yeah, so yeah, let's not be negative and let's not be toxic. Yay. Don't push people at concert. Yay. And yeah, to end off this video, stand your faves, but stand twice and stand new jeans because I stand them. So yeah, and I will see you in my next video or podcast. Bye bye.